Well, the top story this morning, of course, is the Madlanga Judicial Commission of Inquiry that starts a little bit later on today. Let's cross live to SABC News anchor Ayanda Nyathi. He is there. He's live at the Bridgett Mabandla Justice College in Pretoria. Ayanda, interesting day ahead of us.
Without a doubt, if the first 2 days, Liana, anything to go by, I think many South Africans will be hanging on to Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's every word when he takes to that hot seat once again for day 3. You're right, we're coming to you from the Bridgett Mabandla Justice College here in Pretoria. That's where the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has been sitting for the past couple of days and will do so for the next couple of weeks. We've heard from even that bombshell briefing in July that Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has a lot of information about the supposed or alleged corruption and political interference taking place, and the picture in some way is starting to crystallize. Names are being dropped. There's a whole lot more detail about the nature of discussions that might have taken place behind the scenes, and of course all of this is about getting a better sense of just how far in the rot actually runs within the SAPS and of course who might be involved. Kenny Mapanga has been part of our team watching the story from its inception really, and is with us once again here in our satellite studio. And Kenny, as I mentioned to Liana a short while ago, I think if day 1 and 2 are anything to go by, there's going to be certainly a lot of interest in how day 3 unfolds. But let's perhaps begin with what has really set tongues wagging. Yesterday, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi dropping at least 2 names, MPs currently serving in Parliament, who have, to put it lightly, supposedly made the work of the SAPS difficult. How did they come up?
Good morning to you, Ayanda, and to the viewers at home. I think it's important to note that the stage that we're in right now is the evidence in chief that he is giving. He's dropping what I call these little teasers, but the responsibility still remains on the Lieutenant General to substantiate those claims. So we're not at that stage yet. We're still dealing with allegations, although they are under oath this time, not in the presence of a press briefing. So there are allegations that the Commission must take seriously. So you may remember that the foundation that has been laid with the Political Killings Task Team is that this is a task team that did such efficient work in terms of its mandate, and when it moved into the Gauteng province, that's when they started to experience challenges and giving effect to their work. The current theme that we're on right now, it's only day 3, it seems like we've been listening to this commission for a lifetime. Yes. With the level of information that has been spilled, but he's looking at the efforts to frustrate the PKTT. He calls them coordinated efforts. He asks the Commission to join the dots as he continues to explain how different key role players in the criminal justice system worked towards this alleged colluded effort to ensure that this team does not thrive in its duties, especially in the Gauteng province, because the investigative lens had now shifted from the political violence in KwaZulu-Natal to now key figures that he identifies as alleged members of these drug cartels that are operating in the Gauteng province. And he says to the Commission that this now presented an issue. So now he moves to the various institutions. He starts with the lawmakers. He heads to Parliament and says that in the National Assembly there were 2 MPs currently that participated allegedly in these efforts to frustrate the work of the PKTT. He drops names, that is the MP Fadil Adams and the MP Diane Collar Bernard. Of course, they have denied the allegations. We've seen them on the SABC News, clarifying their versions. Of course, we could expect, we don't know, but the Commission may call them to come and give their version of events. But again, the responsibility is on the Lieutenant General to substantiate those claims that he has made about them. Essentially, he places them in a key position where their efforts were all driven towards a common motive, which is to allegedly stop the investigative lens on this alleged drug cartel. If we look at Fadil Adams, he states that Fadil Adams gets information, intelligence information, and the way that he handles it is done in a reckless manner for an alleged ulterior purpose, not to assist with that information, but rather to reinvent a complaint which later leads to the arrest of General Khumalo, who he states was fighting, or rather investigating, this particular alleged drug cartel that he now links both of these MPs to, because he links their motive Two, distracting from that particular investigation through their efforts in order to stop the work of that particular team.
Sure. And of course, in some ways, we're hoping that as he continues to speak, you speak about substantiating the claims, we'll get a better sense of the nature of their involvement. Because, for example, with Fidel Adams, we don't even know what was contained in that document, really.
Essentially, it was information regarding the vetting of PKTT members, if I understand correctly, or SABC members.
Right.
It was a discrepancy there that was in the intelligence report. Now, I don't think the issue is the actual intelligence report itself. It's about the handling of that report, or using it rather, or abusing it in order to further the interests of these cartels, allegedly.
What shall we expect today with that in mind?
So you may remember yesterday that Mkhwanazi started to deal with the evidence of Brown Mokgotsi. He then went into the WhatsApp exchanges between the pair, stating that this was the first time he received communication, and he got the sense that this was someone that was close to the minister. We know the minister first denied knowing this person, then acknowledged this person as a comrade, but Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is very specific in referring to him as an associate, an alleged associate of Mchunu. So we're going to find out today about the alleged political interference in the work of the criminal justice system, or rather its ability to administer justice to South Africans. We know already Brown Mokgotsi is going to be part of that particular evidence, and we expect him to elaborate further on these alleged ties. Again, it will present more questions for the now suspended police minister, Senzo Mchunu, because Mkhwanazi has been able to place him in key incidents where he tries to place patterns, or rather demonstrate patterns towards a similar or common goal, which is to allegedly allow these syndicates to thrive with the assistance of key role players in the criminal justice system.
All right. We'll be watching the space very closely to see how all of that unfolds, of course, for day 3 of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's testimony. And as I mentioned before, this is certainly not a sprint, it's a marathon. The SABC News team will be watching all of those developments for you as they continue to unfold throughout the day. Leanne?
Thanks very much, Ayanda, and of course to Kani as well, giving us some wonderful coverage there from the Commission.